The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. Let's check out where all the markets are right now. We got the S&P down 3. We have Russell down 0.7. NASDAQ currently up 5, and the Dow's down 19. So been a bit choppy on the indices there. We'll look at each one of those here in a little bit. We'll get that broad market heading definitely down south at the moment. But we'll pull it up and look at it piece by piece, put the pieces together. All right, let's go ahead and look on over at oil. Oil is down 71 cents after a move up to above 108. Ran up and then just flipped around and flying back down. I mean, it's a major fall back off that high up there. And we have natural gas is currently down a little over 1%. Corn is currently down 6 points on the day. Soybeans is flat on the day compared to yesterday's settlement. Euro dollar currently down 29 pips with Aussie dollar up 31. Pound dollar's down 16, US CAD up 49, US franc up 9. The euro yen is currently up a whole pip. Pound yen is up 44, US yen's up 20. Gold is up $5 after we had that big move yesterday. And looking on over at silver, silver is currently up a little over 1% on the day, and copper just keeps pushing on up. Has made some pretty massive highs lately. It is up 0.61% right now over on copper. So let's take a look right now. Let's check out a few of these markets. We'll go on in, like I said, oil ran up to 0.5, hesitated right there, actually hit the 0.7 and bounced right off of it with a volume spike reversal. Came on down, but came down with insanely, I mean, this was volume. And they did a pullback. Right here we had with a triple volume, just bam, bam, bam. 3 high volume bars in a row. Didn't even get a chance. It finally did do a pullback. Not quite a full 50%, but it got a 50% of the last volume spike right here. And then it's just pushing on through and doing it on volume again. So some massive, massive moves right there in oil. A lot of news going on over in Egypt, probably, obviously coming into affecting this, depending upon what news comes out at what moment. We can go ahead. Let's look on at the indices right now. And like I said, we have the broad market index turning over, and the indices are going on with it. So after a very choppy morning on ES, it's moving on down right now. It's broken below settlement, and we're starting to see it break down across the board after that. Well, it seemed like it was going to be an up day, but just didn't quite want to do it. If we go on a little bit further, we can check out a few more indices here. We'll look at the Dow. We got the Dow right now also breaking below its settlement price after oscillating there, making new lows on the day. And we have the Russell. Russell, again, nothing's moving just major right here. The same thing, hasn't broken a new low of the day yet over on the Russell yet. So it has broken below its settlement, but just sort of oscillating. And let's go in and look at the NQ. Of course, what are we waiting on? We're waiting on September. So, it's September, so, you got the selling man go away and come back after Labor Day. So looking for that big volume volatility to pick back up and start making these indices actually do something. So I can't wait to get some nice volume back in there and get that pick back up right after the Labor Day holiday, right around the corner. On NASDAQ, we got to move on up to 0.5 and then pulling on back right now. It has not been able to go back down to settlement. It filled its gap this morning, and it actually did run up a half deviation. But with all the other indices dragging it, I'm sure it's going to go ahead and keep trying to go down, just like we just saw on the other markets, and the S&P just keeps pushing lower and lower there. All right, let's go ahead and look on over at a couple other things. We're going to check out our FX pairs. Let's see where the Aussie dollar's at. It is a Friday, but nevertheless, it went ahead and decided to move on up to 1 deviation. So got a nice move right there on the Aussie dollar. And it took its sweet time. I mean, it was definitely a slow trade. RBA came out last night, the assistant governor, and did a little speech. And apparently, they liked what he had to say. So, but anyways, whether or not that was the major impact, I mean, he spoke last night at 9:30. So if you go over here and look, well, right here at about 9:30, then you see that that's pretty much when the up move really got going off that settlement. And it came up a little bit, pulled back down, pulled back up, 0.5, 0.7, and then right back up to 1, and then falling back down, right now sitting at half a deviation, but perfectly playing those deviation levels. If we go on in and look at the pound dollar's been pretty flat. I've got a price alert there, move that down so it doesn't confuse you. But pretty flat right now to staying right in these levels, sort of looking like the indices, you know. We go and check out euro dollar. We're going to talk about flat. We'll go over and look at that as well. And really not doing anything most of the day, or overnight. Last night, we did get a little spike right around, 8:30, 8:40 right there. When the market opened, moved up to 0.5 deviations, pulled back down to negative 0.5. And so that is basically a 1-to-1 move, being a 1 deviation move if you get a +5 and a minus 0.5 deviation right there. One of the things I was looking at, and I was demo trading playing with this morning, is doing what I called, and I talked about this on the Bull Bear Binary Hour, a strangled butterfly is where I think I'm going to be going with this trade. I was looking at potentially just a strangle, but it looks like we're going to need to go into a strangled butterfly. And there's a report that comes out, the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. It comes out on Friday. It comes out in the morning at 9:55, and there are 10 o'clock expirations. And there actually was a surprising large amount of volatility in there. And you could have went in and basically you could have put on, say like a 37.60 or 37.70 down to a 37.60. I'll show you this right here. It'd be a butterfly that'd be in this range right here, expiring at 10 o'clock. So you could have hopped in there, and you would have put it on literally like in the last 10 minutes. So right here at 9:50. You're putting the trade on. You could have got somewhere between $50 and $60 for that, which means your total risk on the trade would be, if you put 60 on, you can make 60 if it stays in between. And then one side could lose 70, but the other side could make 30, so the most you could lose would be $40 on the trade. Well, so that's not a bad scenario, and a nice profit potential. But if you also go in, and there's something else we looked at doing, because this would be the strangle part, is add on a strangle, like buy the 33.80 and sell the 33.50. Okay? So by doing that, if it stays in the binary butterfly there, so right in that range of 33.70 to 33.60, and we're talking, 10 minutes here. So very small impact news report. Comes out, doesn't really do anything. It does spike after it, but it waits until after 10 a.m. We don't really get any movement on it, and so it expires profitable. Well, if it breaks out, and let's say it would have broke above 33.80 or below 33.50, then you would have put about $5 risk on both sides. You would have made $90 on that, and you would have lost, say 40 on the other, and therefore you would have netted out, say $50 on the trade. Depends on how much you bring in on the trade for what, your total net would be. But you're looking at a risk of somewhere between 50 and 60 to make somewhere between, $40 and $50. And if you go, again, if it goes above 33.80, you profit. It goes below 33.50, you profit. Or if it stays between 33.60 and 33.70, you profit. So your danger zone is going to be between 33.70 and 33.80, and between 33.60 and 33.50. That would be the area where you could lose if it expired in that zone. So that's one way to play it. Another way is you could just do the more expensive straddle, and if it moved up or down 10 ticks, you could be profitable. As you can see, it really didn't move much at all. So you got a temporary spike, but then it pulled on back. So that probably wouldn't have worked out real well for you if you tried that out. The other way to do it would have been just an out-of-the-money strangle, okay, where you go in and you buy the 33.80 and you sell the 33.50 for about $10 risk. And if you're doing this, then you could go in and basically want to take a profit for the $10 that you risked, plus the $5 you risked on each side for $15. So if you bought it for 10, you sell it for 25. If you sell it for 95, you buy it back for 80, and basically giving you a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. I know one trader who got in for 8 and got out and made $8 on it, and they netted $8 on it, so they actually had a 1-to-1 risk-reward on it. So that would be another way to trade it. So it's just two ways to trade it. It's a very short news trade. It's more just like I said, as a beta demo. I talked about it yesterday, something I'm trying out, and just to see, you got to look at different possible opportunities and go, is there some way to consistently take advantage of this trade? And so, I'm always diving in and trying to share different ways to do things. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit as you're looking at different possibilities. And as always, as you're trying these things out, I do always encourage you, use demo. So that way, demo's a very kind teacher. And if you want to get a demo account on Nadex, hop on over to tfnn.com, okay? And then click on the Nadex banner right there. That'll get you right in, and under trading, it says Demo Trading Account. Click on Demo Trading Account and fill in the information. So put in the username, first name, last name, email address. Hit apply for demo, and then they'll send you an email right away in your, obviously in your email, and then they'll send you a password in your email is what I meant to say. And then you're able to log in and actually access the account. And, it's very similar, almost exactly the same, except for, of course, there's not live traders trading. It's demo traders trading. So that, of course, can affect pricing and things like that. But overall, it's basically the exact same experience. And you're able to go in and just learn, how do binaries work, how do spreads work, how do we put all these pieces together, and are there ways to get an edge in the market? And, one thing you won't see me teaching is buying these really cheap, like $5 binaries to make 95. So that really is not the goal. If you're just doing that, on lotto tickets, whatever, just go buy some lotto tickets. But if you actually want to trade, like maybe buying the 5 and selling the 5 because there's a news report coming out, and if you can get out of it and make 15, net 10 on it, well, that's not a bad trade. That's actually a trading plan. That's a trading system. So a lot of people look at these binaries and they're like, well, aren't they just over under? It's like, well, if you look at the bucket shops overseas, definitely, because you get in, you have 5 minutes, it's either above or below it, you can't do anything about it, and you're locked. And it's just, that's it. And there's no probability, it's at the money. It's not like you're already in the money or out of the money, it's at the money. And I can go on a list of like 20 different reasons why to avoid the bucket shops. But on Nadex, you can get in, you can get out before expiration, you can go in, obviously your risk is always limited, capped, and, there's plenty of liquidity for every trade I've done and other traders that I know that trade pretty large account sizes. I got an email today. What about the liquidity on Nadex? Well, I know guys with 6-figure accounts that don't have an issue. So there are, as with any exchange, there are going to be certain markets, just like on the CME. I don't trade orange juice and I don't trade milk. So you're going to find out what markets are more liquid, and it's really easy because once you're in the platform, you just simply hop over and you can actually look at the quantity, the size, and that shows you the immediate liquidity at that price, not the total liquidity, okay? Meaning you could take out that book and there could be more available, all right? But just the immediate amount that's available. So like right here, I'm looking at S&P. So there's 250 contracts. If I went in and clicked on that, by the way, I might even see a second level. There's another 200 contracts available, okay? So there's another level of contracts sitting right there. I even see a trader trying to go in and put in a trade where they're trying to sell at 24. There's a buy at 24 up there. And, they'll show the best offer at the best price. And I'll teach you some more basic lessons about this when we get back from this break.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzamento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Darrell takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Looking on over and seeing what's available that we might be able to take advantage of in this market right now on the gold contracts, like I like to do almost each and every day right here. We got the markets currently sitting at 1369.43. And it looks like you can hop and you can buy yourself a 1368 binary for about $81. So you can hop in and grab that. And good price, so and low price right now. So that's available for you. And I just grabbed myself a few of them as well. As long as it stays above 1368 on the trade, then we'll be profitable. And again, that's a buy on the 1368 130 expiration, okay, for gold. And gets us pretty deep in the money, which is nice as well. And let's see here. Pull some stuff on this. I'll pull the chart over here. We'll look at it in detail for you. And I'll explain that trade. Then we'll come back and go to some of the stuff I was talking about just a second ago. And put those pieces in play. But yeah, you ought to be able to easily be able to get that fill there. And let's look over. Yeah, it's like 80, 82.50. Again, but it has to stay above 1368. If it goes below 1368, the trade would be a losing trade. So you want to get out of it if it hit the strike in order to reduce your risk on the trade. All right, so how does this work? Let's pull up a gold chart real quick and look at this, and I'll show you what's going on, just in case you're new and you haven't heard about this before. But we're using binaries on Nadex, and we're doing premium collection. And it's moving on up. Trade's already working out pretty well for us right there. And we go here, and what we said is that gold will finish at or above 1368 at 1:30, which is 5 minutes from now. Okay? And so you put that in right there. 1368. And so as long as it expires at or above 1368, then you're able to be profitable. It's a pretty easy trade to do, and doesn't really take a lot of work. You have to really look at your trend. So you want to be looking at trend. You want to make sure the market is moving in your favor. And so I look at several things. I look at electronic market noise. I look at 5 and 10 minute charts. I also look over like different types of bar types and look at like 8-period moving averages on them. Basically, I just want to see that I have a confirmed trend going in my direction. And you can even use the gold charts inside Nadex if you don't have anything. You can go in there. Let's see if they got their gold one working, because I know it wasn't up before, but maybe they have it working now. And let me go over here to underlying indicative. You go down here to commodities. You go down here to Nadex indicative prices. You go to gold. And you can actually open up, we'll see, like, I know they were doing an upgrade. Yeah, they're doing an upgrade on the demo. On the live platform, let me see, get that one. Where did I put my live? There it is. Okay, so commodities, gold, and then pull up the strike. Sorry, not the strike, the underlying indicative. And let me pull this up for you. 1 second, you'll be able to see it over here. Right here, okay? And so you can go right here into gold, and then you just click on the chart, and little chart icon right there. It'll actually open the chart for you, and then you'll be able to see it. There it is. There we go. I don't know, maybe just open like 5 charts. But, yeah, there's one right there. Behind the scenes. Okay. So we got our gold chart up, and so you can actually look at what this is the settlement price of gold. And, see where it's at, because this is the price that you care about. You want it to be this settlement price above 1368. Well, what is the difference between settlement and regular price? Okay, well, settlement is just like the CME, what they do on settlement to determine, futures, mark-to-market, options, whether they're in the money, out of the money, for, exercise, things like that at expiration. The CME goes in, they take the last 30 seconds, they take all the trades in the last 30 seconds, they do a volume-weighted analysis, and they multiply the price times volume, they add it together, they divide it by that volume, and then they get settlement. It's a very complicated method. They do it daily. Okay, well, Nadex is doing this on every single expiration. They're actually doing it constantly, every second. So that way you can have that settlement value. And what they're doing is they're taking the last 25 trades, they're dropping the top 5 and bottom 5 to get rid of, just random miscellaneous quotes. And they're averaging the middle 15, so you can get a settlement price. So as long as it settles above the strike that we bought, then you'll be profitable on the trade. Now, one of the other things that's really important to be aware of is to not look at P&L right in the last 2 minutes of these trades. The reason being is basically the market makers pull their liquidity out, and so you won't see any quotes, okay? So if you go over here and you click on this, like, you really won't see anything. So there's really not a value to be looking at it. And so, but if there is a quote, it'll then like factor that into your P&L, and it'll make it look off. And it'll make you think you're down, so people think that they're losing in those last 5 minutes when really, like, we're way ahead. We're very in the money on the trade. We have no worries of this trade at all. We're 2 points ahead. So, but that could definitely throw you off if you don't understand where that P&L in the last 2 minutes is coming from. All right, stay right there. We'll be right back after this break.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. With the stock market flirting with all-time highs and volatility back, now is the perfect time for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights. On Monday, June 24th, Tom O'Brien closed out all 5 open positions in his daily newsletter Market Insights, with all trades being profitable and ranging from a 2.23% gain all the way to more than an 11% gain in just one position for an incredible 32.7% profit combined between the 5 trades. Let Tom O'Brien's years of market experience work for you. If you'd like to see for yourself what kind of trading newsletter Tom O'Brien delivers to his clients each morning, then now is a perfect time to sign up for a 2-week free trial to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. In a volatile market like we currently have, the potential for fast market moves like we've seen recently is a trader's dream. So don't wait any longer. Sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today at the front page of TFNN.com. With over 3 decades of commodity trading experience, Andy Hecht has developed a system that combines both technicals and fundamentals. He calls this approach Technomental, and now you can put it to work for yourself with his brand new service, the Technomental Commodity Report. In this weekly newsletter, which comes out each Thursday morning, Andy gives you his analysis of the market price direction bias using fundamentals, and then specific trade recommendations including entry and exit points using technicals. The recommendations in the newsletter are always based on stocks and ETFs, so a futures account is not required, and Andy will often use options in the recommendations as well. Andy will tell you where to get in, where to get out, and he'll outline the risk-reward profile for all recommendations. To get your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht while locking in the low introductory rate, visit the front page of TFNN.com today. Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. So that gold trade did expire in the money profitable for us. And we needed it to expire above 1368. Well, it expired well above 1368. And a couple things, couple tips I was talking about. I've talked to a few traders about this, and just to reiterate with you, one of the things you should do is you should go in and add these to your watch list, all these indicative markets. So by adding them to your watch list, go through all the commodities, all the forks, all the indices, then you have my watch list. Well, now you have the pricing of all the markets. And what's cool about this is this watch list is actually accessible on your mobile phone with the Nadex app. So that way you can use that to reference prices when on the go. But, you know, right here, just one of the many ways that you can trade on Nadex. It's obviously a very short term. One of the reasons I do this on the radio show is because it's a radio show. We only have so much time. And so there are plenty of trades I do that take much longer. They're not all 5 minutes. But it does, allow me to, sort of show you an example of doing trades on Nadex. And you go and you make $19 on that. You do 10 contracts. You made $190. And you did it in 5 or 10 minutes. So whether you're, a day trader or whether you don't have any time to trade, you only have maybe 30 minutes or an hour a day, that's a trade you could actually do. You just got to practice it a lot to get it down. So there's plenty of ways to trade that. You can use the spreads. You can use binaries for range-bound trades. You can, if you like, neutral trading, there's a lot of neutral strategies you can do. If you like random walk, like breakout straddles and strangles, you can do that as well. I do those on the news on a consistent basis. I'm always talking about the news and what to look at. One of the trades I was looking at, demoing, checking that out this morning was copper. Really didn't get any major move on the prices because there was no major announcement that came out. But if the announcement came out and it was large, that would be one to definitely check out. Well, let's go ahead and let's look at it right here. We got our copper prices, and let's look at the announcement when it came out earlier today. Okay, and what announcement I'm talking about? I'm talking about the pending home sales and new home sales. And the report came out, and I mean it was it was a big shocker there. It was at 0.95, and it came in at 0.94 on building permits, and building permits and housing starts. And the housing starts came in at 0.91 on expectation of 0.90. So the expectations came in. The price of the expectation was already built in. There was no fundamental shock, and so we didn't really get any kind of big move. The price was right there, so right here before the news came out. It moved up a little bit, and then we'll zoom out, show you sort of where it went afterwards. You got that 2-hour window there sort of looking at, so really hour and a half based on that report. And so our high to low, which is, still a decent move, but our high to low right here, 35.55 up to 37.20. And so a 0.0160 and, ticking in 0.05, I mean, that's actually a decent move. That's giving you a solid, what is that, 160, and then we got that pretty much high to low, so that's like 80 on both sides. You divide that by 5, and if my math is right, you got, somewhere around 40 ticks. So, copper's sort of a funny one to, calculate. But let's see here. I'll give the exact numbers. Can't leave it like that. So, yeah, so we got 100, we got 0.0160, okay? We divide that by 0.0005. So yeah, so we got 32 total ticks. So that's close, but not quite right on the money there. But about 32 ticks, high to low. You can't really do the straddles on these because, well, you can, I guess, but there's just the tick value is so low, it's just not worth it. But you can strangle them on the binaries. And it's one of those trades where you really have to be going in maybe for an out-of-the-money binary on both sides, and you're going for a 1-to-1 quick on the trade. But sometimes you can get just massive moves on copper on these housing reports. So something worth looking at, sort of keeping your eye on at demo trading, and that's one thing I sort of try to do on the show as I'm teaching people is, here are things to think about, to add to your trading calendar. You should have a calendar. You should be adding stuff to it. And whenever another report comes up, you should go, when did that report come out last time? And then you can go back to your calendar and go, okay, what notes did I put on it? So, on my calendar, I'll put on notes on there and I'll add things. And I'm starting to build this up even more and more and more, piece by piece. So that way, the next time a report comes out, I can look at what happened last time, I can look at what I learned from it, and I can keep building on that, and you get this series of lessons based on each report that you trade and things that you see. And anyway, it's just a very cool way for you to, slowly but surely put together a news trading plan. Over the course of a few months, you'll have all of the news trades put together. And then, as you trade, some of those are weekly, some of those are monthly, some of those are quarterly. But, over the course of time, you build this thing up and you get this whole playbook. And there's about 60 economic indicators that are tradable, fundamental indicators. There's a lot of potential trades out there that you can take advantage of. So hopefully you're starting to pick some things up and, put the pieces together. All right, well, that's copper right there. Let's go ahead. Let's look on over. And we'll check out, just to do a wrap-up on gold on deviations right there. We got to move on up to 0.7, back down to settlement, and then right back up to 0.5 on the deviations. And if we go on over to silver, see where that's at right now. Right now, sitting at, right at expiration, sitting at 0.5 deviation. So right at the deviation line. Sort of scary sometimes how accurate those numbers are. Let's look on over. We got our euro dollar. We'll look at the deviations on that. We had to up 5, down 5, and now let's go on down to pound dollar. On pound dollar, we had to move almost up to 0.5, but not quite. So overnight, but we did, we moved basically half a deviation. It was just a pretty flat day on pound dollar overall, pretty choppy there. And then let's check out the dollar CAD. So on the dollar CAD here, we got to move up to 1 deviation. We did have expectations for movement on the dollar CAD. We expected some volatility from the manufacturing sales and the foreign security purchases coming out. Usually only about a 20 to 30 pip move right off that announcement. But it does sort of, news has this habit of sort of like lighting a fire under an FX pair. And you have these stats on these pops that you get in a short period of time, but also what it tells you is that's probably what's going to be moving today. Okay? So when you see the high impact announcements, even if you only get maybe a 20 or 30 pip move in a couple hours, that's probably a big moving FX pair today. So, USD CAD, you had basically high impact reports on manufacturing sales, high impact reports on building permits. So you didn't have any high impact reports on any of the other pairs. So knowing that I have a high impact on CAD, knowing that I have a high impact on dollar, it's like, you know what? That's probably the currency pair I may want to focus on today because it's probably more than likely going to move more today. It may not move right off the news. It may not explode off the news. Often it'll go flat before the news. We saw that happen today on the USD CAD. But we did get a nice run up into the news, up to half a deviation. It went flat, waiting on the news to come out for about 4 hours. News came out, got a little spike off of it, and then it moved on up the other half deviation for the rest of the day. But just, something to keep in your mind. You're trying to figure out, what's going to move today? I always get that. What's going to move today? And I'm always like, look at the news. People are, no, but really, what's going to move today? I'm like, really, look at the news. So see what news is, scheduled to come out. That will probably cause some volatility on that FX pair for that day and give you a little bit better movement. We got a little movement here over on the dollar franc. We got to move up to 0.5, down to 0.5, down to 0.7, back out to 0.5, up to settlement, and now just sort of chilling out right now over at the settlement price. And that'll wrap up the currency pairs, except for, one last one. Let's go ahead and check out dollar yen. And on the dollar yen, that's just been bouncing. It almost went down to negative 0.5 after going back up to settlement last night. So it gave you a great evening trade that you could have taken advantage of. And really didn't have any yen announcements, just, FX volatility. And then, but then it ran all the way up to another half deviation. So remember, negative 0.5 to positive 0.5, a 1 deviation move, and bounced off that to settlement, went back up to it in the morning session. So definitely had some movement in dollar yen, not just a perfect trend, more of a swing trade. But a lot of things you can take advantage of. And dollar yen's been a great mover most of the time lately. And again, it's like anything else. It's just what news is coming out on that pair. All right, let's take a quick look and go through what is coming up next week. So it's Friday. What do we got coming up on Sunday? We're going to have trade balance out of the yen, new motor vehicle sales on the Aussie. Those are not high impact reports, but again, if you're a Sunday evening trader, that would help give you a little extra oomph and volatility in those pairs. We do have the Aussie dollar monetary policy meeting minutes coming out Monday evening. That's all that's coming out Monday, so nothing major there. But, we definitely, you want to be aware of that. That could obviously give you some volatility over in the Aussie. It's, again, 9:30 on Monday night. And let's look at Tuesday. Tuesday is quiet. So the most you got is a medium impact German PPI on the euro and a wholesale sales on Canadian, again, both medium impact. Nothing major at all. So very quiet for Tuesday. Looking at Wednesday, we're going to have existing home sales. We're going to have the FOMC meeting minutes coming out. Also, of course, we'll have crude oil inventories coming out, and we'll have a couple pound medium impact announcements coming out that night. But the big numbers being existing home sales and the meeting minutes, which are not really so much a tradable based off statistic because you don't have a deviation to look for, but definitely will add some volatility at 2 o'clock when those come out. So just be aware of them. And we'll go on in because people are looking for the reason you're going to get a lot of volatility on that. The reason is people trying to figure out, they're trying to decipher what's the Fed's policy going forward. And of course now, and I posted this over in the den earlier, like who is going to get, elected to be the next Fed or who appointed, not elected. You do not get to elect the person that's in control of all your money for your country. Larry Summers is now the big buzz right now on Twitter. So there's been a couple people and it's interesting. I mean, you read one report and it says this guy will print to the moon. You read another report, this guy's like, he'll raise interest rates and slash QE in 5 seconds. So, but either way, as these reports come out, be aware that this is a massive decision going on right now, and it's going to cause some crazy volatility. But that just adds to things like meeting minutes being impactful if there's any clues inside of it, or at least people think there are clues, which they always think there's something there. If we roll on over to Thursday, we'll have the French flash and then the German flash. German flash, a little more high impact. Not massive, but a little higher impact. PMI report over there on the 22nd. And then we'll get a nice little trade on Canadian dollar. We're going to actually have core retail sales and retail sales and unemployment claims all at the same time. So we get a triple report on dollar CAD, with two of those being high impact, one being medium impact. We should get some good volatility on Thursday on the dollar CAD. Of course, we'll have the weekly natural gas inventory report. And then the, famous Jackson Hole Symposium is beginning next week, okay? And this is if you don't know what this is, it's a big economic symposium. You'll hear about it if you're listening on financial, stuff, whatever. You'll see pieces of it. You may see it in the news in various areas, whatever. But it's in Wyoming, in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And it's all the, it's the central bankers, the finance ministers, the big market participants from all around the world. They come together in a closed meeting to the press. So, but they will come out and they will talk, and little things they say can cause some crazy volatility. So, that's happening. Day one is next Thursday, and so you just want to be aware of it. And, of course, day two, it'll go on in, and we'll have that on Friday, but there's just, a lot happening next week. But that's going to be a big focus with the having the Fed meeting minutes, and then, the next 2 days there, having the Jackson Hole Symposium and the surprise press conferences coming out on Thursday and Friday. We'll also have the second estimate GDP, not near as important of a number, but still GDP on the pound with 3 other announcements, so 4 GBP pound announcements coming out on Friday. And we'll have core CPI and CPI coming out on the USD CAD on Friday as well, so that'll be a trade to look at. And we'll have new home sales coming out at 10 a.m. Right here in the U.S., and that gives you your market wrap report for the coming week. Puts all those pieces together. So make sure you start building that calendar, getting ready. You want to have your battle plan as a trader. And you want to go, what do I need to be aware of each day? Like Thursday and Friday, just knowing that Jackson Hole's coming out, you're going to want to have, some sort of feed. So you're just sort of knowing if things are being said, because that can cause volatility in the market. So just sort of having some things to be prepared for. What am I going to trade? When am I going to trade it? What am I going to focus on? Why am I going to do it? What is my trading plan? And I'll do certain trades in the morning. I'll do certain trades in the afternoon. I'll do certain trades later in the day. But, you got to have that plan and put those pieces together. And that's obviously going to be personal because everybody has their own way of trading. But, it is good to have that so you're not just sort of bouncing around from one thing to the next, but you're actually being consistent. One of my plans is I trade gold at 130 because I'm on the radio. It's a trade that I can easily focus on, do, and knock it out live at the same time. So that's part of my trading plan every day, is actually to do that gold trade at 130. So just putting those pieces together, hopefully, if you start to build a trading plan, and then as you're building that trading plan, that becomes your calendar, and on that calendar, you start marking things like economic events. You also put on there, do screen captures. I use a program called, you can use Jing as a free version of it. I use one called Snagit. You can get it for free. You can get Jing it for free at techsmith.com. And it's just it's a really cool program. Like I said, it's free. Just go over here, and I'll show you. Like, this is it right here. And you can just click. And you can take a picture, okay? And then once you take that picture, you can actually say, okay, capture that. And now that you've captured it, you can go in and you can edit the image. And then you can upload it directly to Screencast, or you can maybe paste it in Microsoft Word. But you can actually use this to create a visual trading journal for yourself every day as part of that calendar. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, folks, we'll come on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And just going through just various lessons and things that you can learn. One of those being like how to add the stuff to the charts on there over on Nadex. But we pretty much covered that. We'll just add it to your watch list and you'll be able to access it. But also you can take advantage over here of, you know, the bull spread, or actually just now it's the Nadex spread. They're finally changing it. It's going to be Nadex spreads. The Nadex spread scanner, and you can go up and you can look at, like, okay, we have 2 o'clock coming up, so you could go in, you can select all markets that are going to be expiring in the next, like, 15 minutes. And then you can scroll down. Oh, I think we also have crude and natural gas right here. And so you can scroll on down and then find any potential trades that might exist that, you know, could meet your requirements. So, like I see there's a Wall Street 30 right there. We got a U.S. Tech 100. And you can pull those charts up and see if any of them are, you know, like what you're looking for. This makes it a fast, easy way to look through a lot of different markets and then pull the charts up versus having to try to, like, analyze 20 charts and then go see and there's nothing there. So if I'm going to analyze the chart, I want there to be a potential trade for me to do it. And so that's one of the things I'll do. I'll just put in the simple risk parameters, 65 to 95, and in the next 15 minutes, and that's really all I need. And then we'll have it. So Euro yen, pound yen, US yen, be a little careful on those. They're pretty crazy volatile. They do give you a lot of premium usually for some decent distance, but they can move fast. And so it can hurt if they move too fast on you. And just a couple things to be aware of. But it's nice. I mean, you can see there's a lot of trades in here that definitely could qualify for potential trades going into expiration. You just need to make sure you have all the charts and have everything ready to go. And this is just a matter of getting used to it, demo trading it, and going through the motions. I saw one trader today said, well, I really learned well in demo. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a good way to go broke. So you want to learn, I mean, not demo, he said live. So I really work well in live, and he's like, because the lessons stick. Well, no, that's good. But the lessons that stick in live are I risk too much money. I didn't follow my rules. Okay? I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is just learning how to find the correct strike, how to hit the button, how to look at the chart. It's the how-to. The big U factor is going to come into play when you go live. Okay? But the just basic analysis of a chart and potential premium collection trades, that is something you ought to easily be able to do in live with no problem at all. And there's a lot of cool ones. I mean, right there, we got a 107.19. We've had a lot of volatility in oil today. And so you could go over here and you could easily pick that trade right now for, $20. So not a bad one at all. It's already back down to 10. So, I mean, they just fly. And you go in there, but, like I said, $20 on a trade right there at 107.19. So I wish I could have called that one a little bit sooner for you, but it just dropped right there. But again, we're in the last few minutes right before expiration. And this makes it just an easy trade for you to do. And it's back up. There it goes. Back up to 19.50, 19. Okay. So you could have went in and easily done that trade by now. And so cool trade, easy trade. And, hopefully you're able to take advantage of a few of these that I call on the air each day. So trying to make it as good as possible for you. And again, that was an expiration premium collection sell at 107.19 at $20. So I was trying to get that one out to you a little bit faster. But looks like it's going to do pretty well. And just, again, it's piece by piece, putting all the pieces together. We had a lot of room on that one. And let's see, where we at? Like 106.79, so a ton of room. And 106.98, 20 ticks. Yeah, we're fine on that trade. Got 2 more minutes. All right, well, stay tuned. We have another great show coming up for you right after this, and I will see you Monday. Bye.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.